Okay, so a lot of people ask me what is a light language. It is a light codes, it is a frequency. It has helped me heal my body. It has helped actually other people heal. So when I first started doing light language, it came in the frequency of sign language. And I didn't really know what I was doing at the time, but I just went with it. But I knew it was actual sign language because a lot of my meditation had to do with me listening to different frequencies or tribal noises. Sometimes I would listen to DMT frequencies, things like that. And it would be during certain beats or the frequencies that I would start doing the sign language. And then when I would start doing the sign language, I would start seeing patterns, and then I would start seeing actual letters. So I would be able to start putting like a language together, but it would look like it was more of like an ancient language, if that makes any sense. So I started playing around with it more and more. This happened for about a month. And then I was laying down during one of my meditation sessions one night, and I felt like something needed to come out of my throat so hard I was gonna vomit if I didn't let it out. So finally, I just let this noise out, and it was another language. And that scared the crap out of me. I was like, I didn't even know I had this in me. But I just went with that as well. So as I started doing that, then I started crying. But it felt like a release because every time I was doing that, it was like I was just throwing up. Like I would do it for longer and longer, but it was just like this intense release. But it started moving out of my body where it was moving from my throat into different parts. And so as I was doing it longer and longer, then it felt like releases out of, say, like different parts, like chakras. And then I would just start bawling. And then I started having the feeling of when I would connect to the Divine Mother and have that unconditional love. And when I have that, it's always in my heart, and I feel like I connect straight to source. And when I have to disconnect when the session is over, then I cry immediately. But it's like you're leaving home. It's like you're breaking up with like your best lover, or it's very hard to describe unless you've ever been connected to source and then you have to disconnect. It is so intense, and it is the greatest love or the greatest feeling of love that you've ever felt. And I'm able to do this at any given time that I want now. So I don't know why it hits me like that, because I'm given the gift of that anytime I want now. But even in this moment that I'm speaking on it, I am connected in. But it's just so intense. It's even hard to talk at times because you're in that space where you're just flowing and you're just in love, and you just feel like you're radiating love, you know? Like I get lost in my words, I get lost in my thought. But okay, so where was I? So I'm doing the light language, and then I start having the thoughts of how can I use this to, well, first, let me go back. I tried to Google this because at first I didn't even know that this is called light language. I was like, sign language, speaking a different language, blah, blah. Like, I'm trying to Google all different kinds of things and I can't find anything on it. I had a past life reading with a man, and I reached out to him and I said, have you ever heard of any of this? And he said, I've never seen it, but he said, it sounds like you're doing light language. And when he said that, that gave me a word to be able to go in and look at videos of other people. I want to say it was like YouTube or something. But these people, although they almost sounded like me, they weren't exactly there. And, then I started realizing as I went further along my journey that there's different versions of it. So I've started to see how cool that was. Because too, as there's different versions, as I hear different people speak, there's actually different people who activate mine. And it's like we're communicating back and forth. Because as I'm in meditation, and when I say meditation, as I'm listening to them, it activates mine and I immediately go into mine, like I'm speaking back to them. And it's the coolest thing because I'm like, oh my God, like this is literally how we used to communicate to each other, or we still communicate to each other because it is all about frequency. And I would liken it to be like a telepathic thing because that is also frequency and vibration. So when you start understanding that everyone and everything is energy, frequency, and vibration, this is just a way that shows it, replicates it, and picks up on it. And this is just a language that also shows that and radiates it. Think about it as if you are on a radio station and you're just tuning in to the radio station and you are able to vibrate with them. It's the same thing as how we are, and if I need to do a separate video on that, then I will. But we are all mirrors, projectors, and the world is a hologram. So our thoughts will project out. We are mirrors to each other. So we will be vibrating out. This is how manifestation works. It's really everything is, it's all a field of energy. So it just shows in real time how it's all working. And I think it's beautiful how it all just shows in real time, like a movie. Once you really grasp the concept of that, once I started seeing it in my own body, how my own body was starting to heal. So our voices can heal our own bodies once we know how to use them properly. Our own singing, our own toning can heal our own body. That's what our voices were designed to do. That's why sound healing also, once the sound is properly toned to the right pitches, sound can also, if it's not toned to the right pitch, can hurt and harm our bodies. That's why I pick up on bad frequency And a lot of times when I'm riding in people's trucks or cars, I ask them, can we please turn the station, or can we not? Like, I can't listen to that. And people have found that very annoying through my lifetime. But it will actually, like, my body is picking up on that, and it hurts my body, physically hurts my body. So I'm just one of those people that I'm very sensitive to that. And a lot of people, I think, just aren't tuned to that because for whatever reason, maybe their consciousness, I'm not really sure. But I feel like as we awaken, then people are starting to get tuned into that more. So back to the light language. When I first started doing this, I had asked to receive light to my body. Did I know exactly what I was asking for? No, I had no clue about light language. But I knew that it was going to be healing because I had heard that we were going to be having something hit the earth. I thought it was going to be a big catastrophe, and it was going to come in the ways of like radioactive, or how do I say this? Like, say we were going to be getting really bad sunburns or something like that. You know, there's a lot of fear that was going into a lot of stuff. So, you know, I didn't want to get burned up. So I asked to be receiving the light. I live in the South near the beaches. So I'm always at the beach and getting in the sun. So I thought that that was going to be more of the sun, Ra. And it was actually very beautiful because that all came at the same time that I was receiving more of the Divine Mother coming to me, and Hathor and light beings. It all came at the same time. And when I say light beings, that could freak people out. It's not aliens. We are light beings. So there's nothing to be freaked out about. It's all beautiful. But that was being shown to me in so many different beautiful ways. And I believe the more that we accept, the more that we choose to receive, then we're going to receive our blessings, and we're going to receive our gifts, and we're going to receive healing. And that is absolutely what I did. And the reason I want to keep talking about the light is because the light with Ra and my light codes and diamond codes and all of that was actually the masculine. And that, I want to say too, if anyone has been looking at the Schumann recently and what has been going on with the love codes that they're calling it, and the wave that came in around 7-7, and this thing that they've never seen before, and it looked like restranding, or it looked like DNA strands. That's absolutely what happened. And there has been a shift in the earth, the new earth, or however you want to say it, for some time now, for at least over 6 months. This has been felt, this has been shown to me, and this has been shown to other people, and this has been prophesized. And now it has literally been shown on graphs where the DNA, the light codes, which this actually restructures our DNA, which so does sound, so does the light language and all of that. And this is just proof, which people like me and other people that do this kind of healing and work know this because it's been shown to us. But if you need absolute proof, then proof is here and it has arrived and it is showing up. And this is what Christ consciousness is. Christ consciousness is not religion. This is actually through our hearts. This is actually through the chakras. This is actually through the DNA to rise higher into consciousness. This is actually what is happening on the earth right now. This is what has been prophesied, and this is what Yeshua was talking about when he got murdered for it. So this is the second coming, and it is beautiful. This is nothing to fear. So this is receiving the light. This is what was supposed to be the catastrophic event. It is not a catastrophic event if you are receiving the light into your body properly. This is what activations are doing to people in their bodies. This is what light language activation can do for people. It is beautiful. It is absolutely insanely beautiful. I love it. And I'm so excited for it. So, you know, a lot of people just don't understand how it works, and I'm excited to talk about it more and more. And I offer light language activations. What we do is look at your body on a camera. I want to see from the head down to the root, which is just like, you know, your booty. So I can work with your chakra system, and so that I can go up and down the chakras. I do toning also, because that helps me to be looking at you and feel through your body what chakra needs to be opened up and be worked on to release and reprogram through your actual DNA. So, God, that feels so good in my heart. I'm so excited to communicate this properly with everyone, to be able to potentially honor you, work with you in your highest self in this, and to bring this to more and more people, because this is super healing, this is super activating. And you know, I don't think a lot of people know the power that they hold with this ancient language, and how they can be using it properly. You know, a lot of people just kind of play around with it because they think it sounds cool, or, you know, they think they're just ferrying around or whatever, but it can actually help heal a lot of the collective. So, you know, even if you're watching this video and you have just started diving into light language, use your power, start experimenting with it, even if it's like your mama or your daddy, like just go for it, because you know, that's where I went, is just with myself first, and the things I started seeing in my body, you know, it was undeniable. And then I just started asking Source for more and more light, and I still do. You know, when I'm laying out on the back porch, I ask to receive more and more light. And the things that I see when I'm outside around the sun and the rainbows and the spheres, and in nature, things that show up, it's just undeniable, and the frequency and what I've been shown in my own body, I mean, it's just amazing. So I encourage everyone to really just play around with this and see what comes up in your own bodies. I love you guys.